Hi, my name is Sukhmani Korgil and I'm here as OET trainer, and now I'm going to discuss with the solutions of day 8. So first of all, let's begin with the solutions of part A of reading, and today you are given the part A passage on the topic exposure to radiation, and you are given 4 different texts and 27 questions. So first answer is nuclear medicine, second is X-ray, or you can write image, or you can write picture, or you can write X-ray image, or you can write X-ray picture. Third is sophisticated, or you can write advanced also, or complex. Any one of them is correct. So, and fourth question is computerized, or you can write computerized tomography, but please do not write CT, means short forms are not applicable. Now, fifth answer is the energy, or you can write only energy, that is also correct. Seventh is radioactive, or you can write a radioactive or some radioactive. And next is injected, and after that is hours or days. You can write simple, you can write hours or days, or you can write days alone, means the days word should be there. Next is space, or you can write cosmos, or you can write outer or deep space. Next one is 14%. You can write either in numerical form, or you can write the words also. Next is worldwide or global, and next answer is man-made, and answer to 13th question is general, and 14th is play, or you can write play sports, or do sports, or participate in sports, or you can write drive, or you can write play drive, do drive. Anything is correct. Next is cigarettes, or you can write smoke cigarettes, or you can write when they smoke cigarettes, or when they smoke, or you can also write if they smoke. Any one of them is correct. 16th is direct, 17th is abdomen. Next question is 18, and 18 answer is scatter, or 19th is birth defects, or you can write abnormalities, or you can write birth defect or abnormality also. Next is 20th, its answer is 15. Either you can write in numerical form, it is 1, 5 or 5, 15 also, F-I-F-T-W-E-N, 15. Next, 21st is frequency, and 22nd is organs, then cancer, then 24th is death, or you can write mortality also. 25th is assumptions, and 26th is Japan, 27th is UK, or you can write United Kingdom also, or Great Britain, or you can write short form, that is GB. So these all were the answers to the questions 21 to 27. I hope you are clear with all the answers. So let's move on to part B. Let's discuss with the answers of part B. So let's move on to part B, and in the part B you will be getting 2 passages. So first passage is about Go Blind in Australia, and let's discuss the answers to the questions. So first question is that the main idea of the first paragraph, that is from line 1 to 5 is, so you are given 4 options. The correct answer is C, that is the elderly in Australia need better eye care. So how this answer is correct? Read the second last line of the first paragraph, that is what prevents elderly people, till the last line you will be getting your answer. So in that line the answer lies, that is C, the elderly in Australia need better eye care. So let's move on to question number 2. Question number 2 is saying that in paragraph 2 from line 6 to 12 the author suggests that, and the correct option is B, that is the sight problems of the aged are often preventable or treatable. And the answer to second question, it lies in second paragraph, second last line. You have to read both the lines where they are talking about that A and B is progressive and untreated. So you have to read those 2 lines. Now let's move on to question number 3. Question number 3 is according to the article cataract. So there they are talking about cataracts. Answer to this question is paragraph B. Option B is the correct answer. So option B is saying may occur in about 4 to 5% of Australians over age 64. So you will be getting this answer in paragraph 3, second and third line, where they are talking about in 1979 over 64 years of age. So you have to read second and third line of third paragraph. So you will be getting your answer. Now let's move on to question number 4. Question number 4 is saying that according to the article age-related macular degeneration, that is AMD, so the correct answer is D, where it is saying causes a significant amount of sight loss in the elderly. So I'll tell you where the answer is. So the answer is in the 5th paragraph, first 3 lines. You'll be getting the answer in the first 3 lines of 5th paragraph to answer number 4. So let's move on to 5th question. And the 5th question is, according to the article, the detection of glaucoma. I'll read the options. So the options are, and A is generally occurs too late for treatment to be effective, and B is it's strongly associated with ethnic and generic factors, and C is must occur early to enable effective treatment, and D is generally occurs before optic nerve damage is very advanced. So answer to this question is C, that is must occur early to enable effective treatment. I'm going to tell you where is it. So it's in the paragraph in 6th one, and it is the last line where they're talking about with the early detection of glaucoma. So you'll be getting your answer in the last line. So let's move on to the next question. So next question is 6th question. In this you are asked that the statistics in the article indicate that. So the correct option is A, that is existing eye care services are not fully utilized by the elderly. So how this answer is correct? Let's see. So answer is in the 7th paragraph, last line, where they are talking about 40% of visually impaired elderly people. So you'll be getting your answer by reading the last 2 lines. So let's move on to the next question, that is question number 7. And the 7th question is, according to the article, which of the following statement is not true? And the correct option to this question is B, beta, that is they're talking about elderly people with chronic diseases are more likely to have poor eyesight. So how this answer is correct? You'll be getting on the 2nd page of the passage. It's in the paragraph 8, and read 2nd and 3rd line. You'll be getting your answer in the 2nd and 3rd line of paragraph 8. Let's move on to question number 8, and question number 8 is, in discussing social factors affecting the use of health services, the author points out that. So the correct option to this question is D, where they're talking about poor people have less access to the range of available eye care services. So this answer is, the information about this answer, it is mentioned in the paragraph 9. You have to read 3rd and 4th line, you'll be getting your answer. So let's move on to next question. So 9th question, which is, in Australia in the year 2031, that is 2013, and the correct option to this question is C, where the proportion of people over 65 will be twice the present proportion. So I'll be telling you where is the correct answer, and the answer is in the 12th paragraph, 3rd and 4th line. So you need to read 3rd and 4th line of paragraph 12 to have the answer of question number 10. Now move on to question number 11, and it is saying that the author suggests that, and the correct option is B, that is government services should include prevention and health promotion. So answer to this question is also in paragraph 12, because paragraph 12 contains 3 answers, 9, 10 and 11. And 11th answer is in the last 2 lines of paragraph 12. Please read them carefully and you will be getting the answer to paragraph question number 11. So let's move on to the next passage, that is about fat mites. So let's discuss the solution to the questions. So let's discuss the solution to question number 12, and question number 12 is, the first paragraph lines 1 to 5 informs the reader that, and the correct option to this is A, that is saying that the protein treatment has caused mice to lose weight dramatically, and the answer is in the first paragraph, first line. So read that line very carefully, you'll be getting the answer. Now let's move on to question number 13, and it is saying that the reader can infer from the 2nd paragraph line 6 to 8 that, and the correct option is D, that is many people are confident that a product which guarantees weight loss will sell very well, and the answer to this question is in paragraph 2. Read the last line of paragraph 2. Now you'll be getting the answer after reading that line. And now read the third question, sorry, the 14th question, that is, the fried man and his colleagues found out a genetic defect in the gene called OB, and the correct option is A, that is, causes obesity in mice. And why this answer is correct, I'll tell you, it is in the paragraph 3, second and third line. So read the second and third line very carefully. Now next question, that is question number 15, and question number 15 is, according to the fried man and his colleague, the OB protein, and the correct option is B, that is, may be a factor in appetite control. And why this answer is correct, I'll be telling you, it is in the paragraph, third paragraph, in the last line, that is, plays part in appetite control. Now let's move on to question number 16. Question number 16 is, according to the article, the Californian company called Amgen, and the correct option is B, intends to use humans to test new products based on the OB protein. And why this answer is correct? And the answer is in paragraph 4, last two lines. Now let's move on to question number 17. That is, a study by Mary Ann Pelley-Mounter and her colleagues found that, and the correct option is C, that is, the deficiency in the OB protein had caused obesity in the subjects. So this is the correct option, is in the last two lines of 5th and 6th paragraphs. For this you need to read two paragraphs, that is 5th and 6th. Just read the last two lines of 5th and 6th, you will be getting the answer to question number 17. Now let's move on to 18th question. And according to the Friedman and Pelley-Mounter studies, treatment, and the correct option is B, that is, may be useful for anyone who wants to lose weight. And the answer is in the 7th paragraph, last two lines. For this answer, you need to read the last two lines of paragraph 7. Now let's move on to 19th and 20th question. Now 19th question is the evidence gathered in Friedman and Pelley-Mounter studies, and the correct option is C, that is, suggests that the OB protein is a factor of determining appetite. This is mentioned in 9th paragraph, last two lines. For this, just read the last two lines of 9th paragraph, you will get the similar answer. Now let's move on to question number 20. Here, the researchers from Hoffman, Lake, Roche are less confident of the protein importance because the question says this, why they are asking the reason, and the answer is D, that is, it is not only the factor involved in appetite control. And the answer, this is in 11th paragraph, last two lines. So just read the last two lines of 11th paragraph, you will get the answer to 28th question. Now let's move on to 21st question. That is, in conclusion, the article suggests that, and the answer is the last option, that is D, that is, despite the results of the study of mice, the benefit of humans is unknown. And the answer is in the 14th paragraph, first two lines of 14th paragraph. So you just read the first two lines, you will get the answer of 21st answer. So all these questions are covered now, and I hope you are clear with all the options. Now let's move on to the next module, that is writing module. So in today's writing module, you are getting a letter, and first of all, let's read the task. Using information in the case notes, write a letter of referral, that is referral to the maternal and child health nurse who will provide follow-up care in this case, and Miss Josie Hacks, to whom you are writing the letter, and Maternal and Child Health Center, 133 Elm Grove, Westfield 2692. Now let's read the case history of patient. So let's begin with the patient history. Now name of patient is Maria Ortiz, is a 7-day-old baby, and her mother has been discharged from the maternity hospital, and baby Maria Ortiz 7 days old. Social history of patient is mother, name is Violeta Ortiz, and date of birth is 7/8/1967. Husband is Joe, who is 36 years old, and occupation is security guard. and night shift, means he works in night shift. And other children, Sam, 5 years, that is currently not attending school. Teresa, she is 3 years old. Accommodation, they are living in 2-bedroom flat that is rented. So this was a social history of a patient and his family, baby and mother and husband and other siblings. Now let's move on to the nursing notes. Nursing notes says normal birth, breastfed, and mother anxious and about coping with 3 children. So she's a little bit of anxious about how to cope up with the 3 children, and baby sleeping, reluctant to sleep and feed as well. Baby's weight is at birth it was 3010 grams, and at the time of discharge it is 3020 grams, means 3020 grams. Father, he is unable to assist with children because of night work, as he is working in night shift. And mother, she is very tired due to 3 children and no car, 20-minute walk to shops. So she is being discharged from the hospital on 10th of April 1997. So I think you are writing, either you are writing on the day of discharge, or you are writing before the day of discharge, or you are writing 1 day after the discharge. So I think so, okay, I think so patient is already discharged on 10th of April. So you just have to refer the patient and baby to the community nurse, to other person, and you have to tell about social history as well, because you have to emphasize here on the social history, because in this I think so there is no problem with the baby as well as mother, and you just have to, the only problem, no, there is no medical problem, but the only problem is the social problem, or we can say assistance problem. She is having nobody to help her how to cope up with the 3 kids because her husband is working in night shift. So here, first paragraph is introduction, that you will be telling about the mother and the baby and who is discharged on this date after the normal delivery, you can say, and then the age of the baby, the 7 days old baby, you have to mention that. And then in the next paragraph you have to mention about the history of, like we can say, nursing notes also, that this baby is breastfed and mother is really anxious, you have to mention that. Then you have to emphasize on social history, means as she is living alone, or we can say her husband, he is working in night shift, so the other kids are also not going to school, you just have to mention that. So therefore they need somebody for the assistance, or need somebody to cope up with the 3 children. So this is how you have to write the follow-up care letter. So this is all you have to write. First, I again repeat it. First paragraph is introduction, in which you have to mention. Second paragraph is about the general health of baby and mother, the nursing management, nursing notes, and then in the last paragraph, social history. That is, this is the social history of mother, what is required by both of them, mother and the baby. Then you have to write that line, please contact me if you have any other query, and then your closure, that is your sincerity. So this letter is quite easy. So thank you, and let's move on to the next module, that is speaking. Now let's move on to the speaking module. This is the most interesting according to me, because it's your profession, you just have to act. So now I think you don't have to act because you already know this, and because the examiner, he has to act as a patient. So okay, let's read the task for today. And the task says you are a nurse and you are talking to a patient who shows no interest in hospital food. Oh, so this means it's reluctantly, patient is really moody, he doesn't have interest in hospital food. So there are more 2 weeks for the patient to go home. So patient needs to stay 2 more weeks in the hospital, and he expresses his wishes to eat home food. Oh, so here he is expressing the wish to eat home food, but as we know, we do not allow, our authorities do not allow us to enter outside food in the hospital. Next is, he has not even touched his breakfast, as it can be seen by you. So you are visiting his ward and you see that the plate is lying there, the breakfast is lying there, he has not eaten it, you just have to ask, lying there as it was. So this is the situation given to you. So patient is there, and I think it's afternoon, because you are after, it's 12 or 11, it depends. and then you see that breakfast is lying, you have to ask the reason why he has not taken his breakfast, and he will be telling it. Now let's read your task. Explain to him he has to take the breakfast to recover sooner. So you have to explain to the patient that breakfast is very important, or you can say meal is very important, food is very important, diet is very crucial for the recovery period. And you have to tell for sooner recovery, you should not skip the meals, and that is the most important thing. And moreover, you can say it is prepared by our dietitian, you can say. Next is tell him that many at hospital cannot be changed. You have to say the patient very humble, very politely that this cannot be changed. Don't say we cannot change it. No, don't say rude. You just have to say, I apologize, but as you are in the hospital, you are patient and you are under recovery period, so you need to follow proper strict diet, and our authorities doesn't allow us to change the menu. So this is how you have to explain, very humble and very polite. Now, why outside food is not preferred by the management? This we have to explain to the patient. Why? Infection can be there, and moreover, the dietitian is very professional, so he has prepared the diet plan, so that is really good for your health, that we can say. And one more thing we can include, that our authorities doesn't allow us to allow outside food, because every patient will be having then outside food. That is not good for everybody's health. It is also not harmful for the other patients. You have to explain this. Then what else you can say? You should think over it, like the patient is already admitted. Now you don't have to give any medical information. You just have to convince the patient to eat the hospital food. You can ask, what do you want? You can give alternatives, like if patient is not liking the milk, you can say, okay, instead of that, if dietitian allow me, I can give it juices, and you cannot give spicy food. If patient asks for something else like some fruits, then you can give, because I don't think so fruits are harmful as long as dietitian allows it. This is how you have to tackle the patient, very humbly, very politely. So this was all about speaking task. So see you in the next video of day 9. So take care then. Bye bye.